Greetings. Thank you for coming to watch part 2 of my video on the Cat's Eye Tarot. If you're coming to this, you probably already saw the first part, which I talked about the major arcana. This is just a real brief run through, flip through of the cards, just my first impressions of the cards that I got for to do a fundraising event for a local cat rescue group, and I was really excited. Arwen recommended this deck to me, and I really, really like it. So when I opened it up, I just had to show you right away. Even though I'm really not very familiar, I'm going to have to familiarize myself with it a little better before I read. But luckily, it has a lot of visual clues in in a lot of the pictures, particularly in some of the lower. The minor arcana. So that's what I'm going to go through right now with you. Excuse me. Okay, we're going to start with swords. And some of these I'm just going to go through real quick. Here we have the Ace of Swords has a bird, like a budgie, looks like a budgie, and a feather, and the cat in a cat's paw. Making a decision. He's making a decision whether to go after the bird or after the feather. So he's not just reacting, he's given it some thought, I think, is what the point of the card is supposed to be. Let's see. The Two of Swords talks about, the same kind of thing that we see in the Rider-Waite cats. Unresolved issues, talking about you have to face it. Those cats are not looking at each other. That cat's got to really turn around and face that other cat. This is one, now the Three of Swords, this is one that I love. I really love this image. Well, actually, I think it's very sad. But this is the Three of Swords. And if you're familiar with the Rider-Waite deck, maybe you could get that out real quick. The Three of Swords, I think everybody knows it. I don't want to take too much time, but this is a really good example of how I'm getting so much more really out of a more emotional feel from this cat tarot than most people would get from the Rider-Waite, because of course, it's probably the very bottom card. When I get down here, I go, oh, what if it's missing? I start to panic thinking, what if it's missing? It's not missing. It's here. There it is. Okay, this is what we usually see. You're very familiar with this. And of course it means disappointment. There's some kind of disappointment or misunderstanding or an argument or loss of some kind. Okay. Look at the difference between that image and this image. Here we see there's paw prints in the snow here from a cat. The cat has obviously come here. It looks like a summer cottage, where the cat has visited summer, and there along the shore, probably vacationers, right? People there during the summer probably befriended this cat and fed the cat and paid attention to it, etc. And now the winter has come, and there's nobody there. So we just see he's come back to this location, and nobody's home. Nobody's home. So you really get, it's kind of sad, you really get that feeling of loss, feeling of losing something that you had. So it's, the message in this card is not just about loss or separation, but it's about don't allow yourself to become too dependent on other people or in other situations. So that's kind of sad. I thought that was kind of sad. Okay. The Four of Swords, stopping and thinking, same kind of message here. The cat is looking just sitting up on his cat tree looking out at the bird outside the window. Just, you know, giving himself time to quiet his mind. That's the same kind of a thing. Five of Swords. This is kind of a good example when fear can turn to anger. This is obviously a cat that is sitting here on a scales and pills are there. So he's obviously, poor little sick cat that went to the vet, had to go to the vet. And of course he's very scared when he goes to the vet. So he's here and now he's mad. So it talks about how something little can grow and get turned into something bigger if you're not careful about overreacting. And this little kitty's maybe overreacting. The Six of Swords, again, this cat is sitting in a carrier, so perhaps this cat is sick, is the idea, or things are not going the way it should. He doesn't want to come out. He's just content to be inside, even though the door's open. He's content to be inside the carrier, which is really not very common for a cat to be, unless he doesn't really feel good or he's scared. He's hiding. So it's talking about accepting help when you need it, maybe going in a different direction. Okay. I love this one, and the cat people are going to go crazy over this one because this one is not nice. Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords, I want to, before I show you, I got to show you the Seven of Swords, because the Seven of Swords I've shown you before. It's one of those cards that's kind of weird. I wouldn't say weird, but you know, a lot of people read about the Seven of Swords. It's read in so many different ways. Kind of a complex card. I don't know where it is in the reading. You know how it what meaning you put on it, how it relates to the cards around it. Remember, that's really important, relating to the other cards. And again, since I'm going through it, it's probably the very last one on my deck. Not here yet. Ah, there it is. Okay, this shows this man taking his swords and going, right? He's sneaking away. We talked about this before in one of my other videos. He's sneaking away, looking over his shoulder, thinking he's getting away with something. But is he really getting away with it? This one, the card that I used before to show you, I think I did this, I think we were looking at this card maybe when I was away in Victorville on my camping trip, because the deck I was using there was a universal weight, and that one showed soldiers in the background, so they were watching him. Well, we don't see anybody watching him now in the hoi polloi. I don't have any soldiers sitting there watching him, but still, he's only looking one direction. He thinks he's getting away with something, is he? Well, what I really love about this is, in this cat tarot, the cat's eye tarot, this cat is actually spraying the wall. And if you, this is not funny, but if you have cats, this is what they do. This is what they do. And this is the biggest thing with cats. This is the way that they react, okay? When they have some kind of an issue. And this is something I have to guard against all the time. I'm telling you, nature's miracle is my friend, because I have dogs boarding in my house all the time. And my cats sometimes really do not appreciate that. And I have some incidences where the cats do this kind of thing. I'm trying to eradicate the dog from the house. Reassert themselves in the house through their spraying. It's mostly a male action, but I have females that do it too. So, or they'll just pee on things rather than spray. They don't really spray, but it's the same kind of thing in a female that they'll kind of mark with their urine in some way. And it's not funny at all. But the reason this is such an interesting twist on the guy sneaking away, are people really seeing him? What do you think a cat, the very fact that if you've ever had a cat, the cat cannot get away with this. He thinks he's getting away with something. He's not getting away with anything. If you can tell when you walk into a house if a cat has peed somewhere in that house. It's a horrible smell. It's why a lot of people are allergic to cats, because they don't like the smell of the urine. So they say they're But anyway, so is this cat, well, I think he's getting away with something. He's really not. So, but this is about what is the problem, looking for the root of the problem. Why are you sneaking around, or why are you trying to hide your problem? Let's face the problem head on. So I love this depiction. Okay, the Eight of Swords, again, this relates to me a lot. Here we have a cat, and he's kind of incensed a little bit by a baby gate. And we have baby gates all over our house, and our baby gates are pretty much to allow the cats to go across so that the dogs, who are, especially the dogs who are boarded in my house, cannot follow them. So if the cat wants to go somewhere and get out of reach of the dog, supposedly it's supposed to work that the dog will not jump the gate and the cat will go. But of course some dogs are not that polite. But anyway, the funny thing is cats very easily can take the gate. No, but it is funny to watch how they are really, they're like incensed. They're really usually insulted that you put the gate in the first place. Like, even though you put it there for them. So the idea is here about if you're only trapped if you allow your emotions to your actions. If you think you're trapped, you're trapped. Okay. Eight of Swords. Remember the blindfolded lady? I think that's the one it is. She just would look. She's not really trapped. I think that's it. Okay. Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords, worry. Oh my, Nine of Swords. Remember the poor woman who was waking up and having nightmares and covering her eyes. She just can't face her worry. Her worry is just obsessing her. Well, this poor cat is hiding under the bed. And it limits his ability to do anything if he's going to be afraid and hide under that bed. He's got to come out from under the bed if he wants to eat or if he wants to do anything. He's got to come out from under the bed. Okay. The Ten of Swords, don't be a victim is the idea here. These poor cats are in a very, very horrible place. A dirty house that might be abandoned, or somebody there that's not really taking care of them properly. Do not eat my yarn. Seriously. And one of them trying in vain to look out the window at this, with this broken pane glass up here. Don't be a victim. You know, being a victim, you're never going to be able to make a change. So, the guy hiding under the, this guy hiding under the sink he's accepting his fate. The guy up here is looking beyond, looking for alternatives, looking for some way to get out of this situation. Okay, now where this deck kind of has a downfall for me are the pages, you know, the court cards. Because they, even though they're kind of pretty and kind of nice if you like cats, they really don't tell you much. Here's the Page of Swords. Here's the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords, sort of, it talks about your, well, you can see it's a Siamese cat. And if you ever know a Siamese cat, they do talk. And I guess they're making your feelings known, the difference between talking so that people can hear what your opinion is or what your knowledge is, and the fact of being overbearing and just turning people off. I guess that's what that's supposed to be about. So that one's a little bit easier to read. The Queen, not so much. It's just a queen, a cat sitting there. You got to sort of know, I think in that case, and even also in the King of Swords, you really kind of need to know the right-of-way definition, in my opinion, to know what we mean in those cards. So either that or study the book. So in those cases, kind of iffy on it, but I'm excited enough about the other things that I'm going to still use the cards, at least for this thing. Okay. Now we're going to go to the cups. Look at the cups, just really quickly. This is talking about different relationships, and here's a cat and a goldfish. And the cat's really not trying to eat the goldfish. He's just like putting his paw out there to just sort of greet the goldfish, like maybe play with it through the glass or whatever. So that's kind of interesting. The Two of Cups talks about bonds between equals, which is really right in line with what we talk about in the Rider-Waite. The Three of Cups, interesting. Knowing this is all about cats, even though we think of them as solitary creatures, that they do form bonds with people and with other cats. So this is the idea that you're not alone, that there's people around you to reach out for you if you need it, and when to use those people and when to not use the people, maybe. The Four of Cups, he's a bored kitty. He's sitting here on a pond and there's stuff going on and he's just sitting there bored. And remember the guy in the Rider-Waite sitting there under the tree, just bored beyond tears. Nothing interesting. Five of Cups. Talking about the fact that there's risk. This one is kind of sad for me because here's a mother cat looking and a little girl going off with her kittens, carrying the kittens away. So how everything comes to an end and working through change is what that's about. The Six of Cups, telling you not to dwell in the past. Talk about random acts of kindness. That's sort of cool. Don't dwell in the past. The Rider-Waite usually talks about like nostalgia and having a wish that you've had it for a long time coming true sometimes. This is like, well, you can be comfortable in the memories, but you still have to move on. So that's what that's about. The Seven of Cups, this poor kitty is sitting there beside the TV. Beside the TV watching fish on a TV, or it says a TV. It is a TV. It's not even a real fish tank in his house. It's a TV movie or whatever of a fish tank in his house. So this is talking about yeah, dreaming is important, but you really need some real activity. You're not going to ever get fish this way or get any kind of satisfaction from this. So you need to get up and do something real. This is kind of sad too. This is a cat is probably going to run away from home because there's like a new puppy in the house and the little boy is putting his attention on the puppy and no attention is coming to the cat. So it's whether it's time to stay or whether it's time to go. Listening and going with your feelings. The Nine of Cups, which you call the wish card. You get finally what you wish. And here he's getting some. So he's finally getting some tuna. Well, he's getting some tuna, but they're draining the tuna can into the dish. So are they giving him the actual tuna, or just? I think they're maybe just going to eat the tuna, and they're giving him the. And they're giving him the stuff, the liquid that the tuna was in. So this is about, remember the wish card, you're going to get what you wish for. Maybe when he was crying, and they were opening the can, they said, you want something, so they gave him that instead of draining it and let that going down the sink. They were giving that to him, and they're going to keep the tuna from themselves. So maybe he didn't really get his wish. So really be specific in what you want to wish. And of course the 10 is just about moments of joy, and then we've all experienced that if you've had a cat or any kind of a pet. The love of holding a kitten in your arms. And the cat people are going to love this. Okay. And here we go again with the court cards in the cups. Mr. de Cups. Page of Cups. Knight of Cups. Queen of Cups. And King of Cups. It doesn't really offer any clues as to the meaning of the cards, so not even really subtle clues. So you kind of need to know the meanings. You either have to learn the meanings through the book or through another system, through another like Rider-Waite deck or whatever. Okay. Quickly, the wands. I like this a lot because this is about some kind of a challenging new relationship. I really like this because it's a cat paw pine and a snake, which I normally hate a snake, but it's kind of interesting because curious cat, pine at the yes, it's a new kind of an adventure. But it's asking, are you really up for the challenge of what you're trying to do? Like, he's pawing at that snake. Is he up for the challenge of what will happen when he gets that snake's attention? Maybe not sure. Okay, the Two of Wands. He's trying to cut that lizard off of the bridge below him. He can maybe do it, but maybe is he thinking this through? Is he really planned the move right? Should he have tried a different way, like maybe go down to the branch and get him that way? We're not sure. Okay. The Three of Wands, following your vision, time to set out on your adventure, but should you be leading or should you be following? These kittens are just getting ready to go off the porch for the first time, I think. The Four of Wands, success. You get some kind of success. They went out the gate, and the leap to freedom has been rewarded, it says, and there's a butterfly that they're catching, or at least being able to play with. Okay. The Five of Wands is the same. It's pretty much the same as in the Rider-Waite, where they're just practicing, we have all the kittens in the litter, practicing each other, practicing their skills. And it's talking about, toning your skills. Are you getting ready are you going to be able to face your challenges with confidence, or are you going to be defensive player? It's all depending on how you practice. Six of Wands talks about taking pride in their accomplishments. I don't see this in the card. A little bit, the cat is walking away, maybe happy with what he's doing, but maybe the ones in the background are kind of looking at him with maybe a little judgmental about. I'm not sure. I don't really see that. So that's something that we really have to look for in the book, or in the other system. The Seven of Wands, I love this one, because it's very hard to see, but there's a giant paw right here. So he's really standing up and for what he believes in. He's standing up and being powerful with the energy of his convictions and standing for what he believes in and showing strength in that way. The Eight of Wands shows a mother cat rescuing her kittens from the fire, knowing this is all about the time for action and doing it now and trusting your instincts and when it needs done to do it. She's not going to hesitate. Okay. Nine of Wands shows two cats, one on a porch and one on the fence, sort of in a territorial confrontation. It talks about a challenge coming, but not to be defensive, because there's no real need to be. The cat is on the fence. The other cat is on the porch. They're not trying to encroach on each other's territory. They're just in the same vicinity. So we don't need to be defensive. We need to be mutually respectful of where they are and the ability to be flexible. And that's what this talks about. The Ten of Wands, he caught a snake. He finally caught the snake. He's real excited about catching it, but now what's he going to do with it? Well, he caught it. He may be overextended himself. He may be burned himself. Maybe he needs somebody to help share that load. That's what this one's about. And don't let your ego get in the way of your progress. You thought, I can kill that snake. Well, yeah, I could, but now what is he going to do with it? Again, we have the court cards. Page of Wands. Knight of Wands. Queen of Wands. King of Wands. Not giving us a lot of information. This is the kind of thing that kind of makes me crazy, only because those are the cards that people really have the most trouble with. Usually in reading tarot, they get to the court cards and they freak out. Well, partially it's because of the artwork on the court cards, I think. Can you give us a little more artwork on there? People that really depend on their artwork, for their to get close to the meaning, to get somewhere to go, something visually to begin with. So that's just my thing. Okay, finally, Pentacles. This talks about, we have the Ace of Pentacles, talks about trusting what you know, being patient. The cat obviously hiding in the grass, has his paw out on the rat. I believe it's a rat. Being rewarded for that practicality. The Two of Pentacles, we adapting to a situation. I really like this one. This one almost went past me until I saw. He's up here and he's playing. He's real excited. He's playing with this mouse. He's playing actually with I think that's a toy mouse. I don't know if he's playing with a toy mouse. I think it's a toy mouse. Oh, it is a toy mouse because it's on a string. It's on a string, like somebody is playing with this cat. And down here in the grass is a real mouse watching that happen. So it's talking about adapting to a situation and being flexible and paying attention. And that cat's going to learn a little bit about how that cat is going to hunt by watching him. That's kind of cute. Okay, the Three of Pentacles talks about teamwork. On this one, I'm going to do a little more studying with. And watch about how you approach your own work. Because this has 3 cats. There are 3 cats actually living together. And with a litter of kittens, caring for those kittens. This one is out hunting. Here we have one hunting, one bathing them, and one nursing the kittens. So they're working together, cooperation in a team, which I really like. The Four of Pentacles, this is one of my favorites. If you remember, I gotta see the Four of Pentacles. Excuse me. Because the Four of Pentacles, really well known. I'm sorry if this is boring you because you know these imagery, but some of you that are new do not know the images. So I'm doing it for you. Okay. And I do not, as you can see, put my cards back in order ever. Ever, like some people do. It's not my style. Or it'd be much easier for me to find them, but I don't do that. I want them to be random all the time. So, anyway, the Four of Pentacles. Okay. Three from the end. 3 from the very last. Okay. In the original, I don't know why I'm saying original, but in my hoi polloi or in the Rider-Waite deck, we have a man who is sitting. He's got a foot on each, on one of each, 2 feet, 1 foot on each of his four pentacles. 1 up on his head, 1 in his arms, and 2 under his feet. He is so worried about losing it that he can't make any more. He can't get any more mouth. He's full. His arms are full. And this is what's cool about this image here. In the Four of Pentacles, the cat is trying to hold. He's got a whole bunch of mice. Well, 3 mice at the bottom and 1 in his mouth. And he's so worried about keeping all of those to him that he can't even enjoy the one that he has in his mouth. He's so busy trying to keep all the other ones there with him. So that's the caution with that card. 5 of Pentacles talks about not being afraid to get help when you need it. And then, of course, in hard times, and once you get through the hard times, of course, the importance of being charitable and sharing what you have with others, returning to the balance, and the fact that you will get what you need. You will get no more, no less. You will get what you need. So that's kind of cool there. 7 of Pentacles, making a decision here. He's at the open door of the porch. He must have come to the porch and he knows he can get fed. or he can come inside where it's going to be nice and warm and cozy and petted, but at what price? Will he be giving up his freedom if he comes through the door? You can see a cat doing that every time they approach an open door. They make a decision. What's going to happen when I go through that door? Even if they're completely indoor cats, they still do it. And they know what's going to happen when they go through the door. They still have to have that, I'm not sure. What's going to happen? They act like it's the first time they ever did it. Okay. The Eight of Pentacles talks about the work, pretty much your job or working. Are you working? And here, some cats, they hunt for the sake of hunting or the sake of food. Kind of thing, same thing. What is your motivations when you work? Are you working to live? Are you living to work? That kind of thing. Nine of Pentacles, choosing your own definition of what success is. It doesn't really show it. I don't see it from that picture too much. Ten of Pentacles, happy. We see this. This is supposed to be the coming together of the companionship between a domestic cat and a feral cat, representing both finding comfort in the other. And then again, we have the court cards, Page of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. And again, I'm very disappointed in the Queen and King. They just don't really give you much clue. So if I had to improve on anything in the deck, I would say it would have to be on the court cards of that. Anyway, I just thought you might be interested in that. Somebody. I'd like to know if you have any experience reading the Cat's Eye Tarot. And I'm really looking forward to I'll report back to you after I do these readings at this fundraising event. This is their annual fundraising event, and let you know how it went, if they enjoyed the cards or not. So anyway, I really appreciate you coming to my channel and listening to me yammer on. Again, I am the Good Wife, Rebecca, and I wish you blessings.